Just like that, and we're already back to Monday. But of course, here I am with you on this Monday, June 9th, 2025. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna get through Monday. It's almost over. I mean, we're already we're practically into Tuesday, right? If you think about it, like in Fiji right now, it's 11 p.m. on Tuesday, so it's practically already Tuesday. And if it's Tuesday, it's more or less Wednesday, which means half the week is already over, which means it's practically Friday. So before you know it, the weekend's going to be here, but we just got to get through the next day or so. I'm going to turn my phone off because for some reason it's over here making noise. And actually, I don't think my battery's probably going to die. No, that's all right. I'm not going to worry about it because I am coming to you live from my home in the Washington, D.C. area. Tonight, we're going to get started. We're going to do what we've been doing, and we're going to work on our game. I hope that makes everybody happy. I did do a little work on the game over the weekend. I managed to create a bug. So what I did do, if I can show you, I did a couple of things, but the main thing I did is I added this is alive function to the interface, right? It's a getter. It's a function. It's a method. It's a property. It's a who's it. It's a what's it, right? It is what it is. But anything that implements I has health has to implement interface, has to implement is alive, and literally all is alive is just a Boolean to see if health is greater than 0. And I think I did it the exact same way. For some reason, I mean, even as long as I've been doing this, I will sometimes make things overly complicated. And look, I did this. I added a Boolean. And the reason I added a Boolean is because that was like that's where my intuition led me, right? Like, oh, well, I have a public getter, so I need a private variable that's going to serve the public getter, right? It's all going to be that's the pattern that I've written hundreds, if not thousands of times. And I just realized I hadn't even started my camera. God damn it. Anyway, Literally, every time I do a stream, I mess something up. Because I was all proud because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to unmute the mic, so therefore they can't yell at me for being muted. Yep, no, I didn't mute the mic. What did I do? I forgot to change the camera. That's what I forgot to do. Anyway, so now that you can actually see the screen and see the code, so what I was saying is I added this is alive variable. I don't know, like I said, it was where my instinct took me. It was where, over 20 years of programming and object-oriented languages took me, where I have a public getter, so I need a private variable to serve the getter. Like, that's just kind of what my instinct took me to. And I realized in player stats, I was like, wait, why do I don't need a private variable? Like, why do I need a Boolean that tells me if I'm alive, when whether or not something is alive is just going to be dictated by the health being greater than 0. So actually we can get rid of this. So this is a small, I don't know if I would necessarily call it an optimization. I guess it is, because this is the thing because I realized this because I suddenly had this Boolean that I needed to manage, and I was like, well, why? So anyway, we could just go ahead. Actually, we can just copy directly what we're implementing in player stats. So there is a bug that I wanted to work on today. I started looking at it a little bit over the weekend, and then I was like, I did a bunch of other stuff over the weekend. I did code wise, I did a bunch of other stuff. But of course I can't remember what it was right now. Let's take a look. And I think I have a few PRs that I need to look at, and but life in general is just getting really busy. Matthew says we're stuck seeing starting soon. Yep. Not sure. Hey, and Matthew, hey, welcome guys. Good to see you. Add it. So I added the death flag to NPCs. I don't remember. Yeah, I added, what's today? So I did that yesterday. I added the patrolling NPCs will now attack. So, but there is a bug. There is a bug, and that's what we're going to address today. So let me go ahead and show you what we've accomplished over the weekend. So I added NPCs that are patrolling. So the guys, so there's two types of NPCs right now. There's the guards, who are the ones that are standing outside of the building right now. They're stationary, and actually I added something to them too. So now the stationary guards, here, let's go outside. The stationary guards, before what would happen is they would chase you, and then if you got out of range, they would go back to idle, which meant they just stayed right where they were. Like they were just like, well, I guess I'm here now. This is my new home. So I added logic to have them go back to their original location, wherever they were at the beginning. They will now go back to that position. Oh yeah, and then I also added function because they looked a little soulless, just kind of standing still. So I just added a small like swivel. It's like a random like looking back and forth, kind of like what a human would do, just kind of like, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, how's everything? Just this back and forth. So, but let's go look at a couple of these things. But they will see me. Let me take a knife just to defend myself, just in case. Actually, I can press Q to pick that up. Okay, are they right here? Yeah. So let's just jump down. Luckily, gravity doesn't kill us yet. But yeah, oh shit, he did see me. God damn it. No. So if I run far away enough, so you can see he went back to he just decided to give up on me. He was like, nope, I'm not catching that guy, and then he went back to his spot. But the bug that I encountered, so that actually requires. Why doesn't he see me? Maybe I'm not close enough. And is he turned around? Yeah, he's like looking at the wall. So I added code to restore his original rotation. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's another thing we need to look at. All right. But the bug, basically, so what it was doing with before is they would shoot and kill the green guy. And when he died, they would just keep shooting him. So I added function. Oh, Jesus. I'm glad he didn't see me. That's one of the patrolling guys. Actually, I got it. This is another thing I need to start doing before the shows is I need to make sure that the goddamn AC is on because it feels like it's 1,000 degrees in here. Yeah. It's gone up to 74. We're turning that AC on. We're punching that down to 71, boys. I don't know what that is in communist degrees, Matthew. I'm sorry. It's probably like 1,000 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry. Something like that. 1,000 degrees Celsius. That's like room temperature, right? Okay. Oh shit. God damn it. No. Do I have a breakpoint set? What happened? Oh, no. Oh, I thought the game locked up. Okay, no. But we're going to stop it. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the player outside just to make it a little easier. And then this is, I wish I could find an easy way to put him on the ground. I don't know why it is so complicated to put these goddamn things on the ground, but no, apparently that's a Unity 7 feature. Being able to put things on the ground, that's a Unity 7. Until then, you just got to guess. All right, so I'm going to bring this guy out too, since he's the one who's going to be our little test rat. And then of course I got to bring him down also. Okay, he starts to go, let me see. Okay, so I can see so the best way I've been able to do this is you can see when he starts to go underground. That is literally the best way I have found to place something on the ground. Why you can't snap to the terrain, I don't know. Okay, so now I'll show you the bug. I'm going to turn this music down a little bit, and I'm going to turn this up. Okay, so we're staring at the wall. So this bug involves them killing green guy. I'm sorry. I would also like to know why green guy slides like that, but one thing at a time. Also, the audio is really weird. Okay, so he's going to die. Oh, wait. Were my code changes on a branch? Okay, yeah, you can see they just keep shooting him. I kind of got crazy with the branches, so I don't know. I got to do a fetch because I'm not sure what is what. Let me see, fetch. And actually, I think it's attack state 3. But I'm not going to check it out. I don't think I want to use it right now. I just want to look at it. Can I look at it? All right, we'll just look at it online. I think we'll do that. So how was everybody's weekend? I know, not sure. I had plans on Saturday. Matthew was busy eating hamburgers. I wanted to ask, why do you have like 10 branches? I mean, that's just how it is. Okay. No, because so I don't like to reuse branches. So I will literally, like, if I create I'll work on a branch, I'll merge it, and then usually I will delete them. But I'm not super, I don't always delete them a lot. It's just kind of how I work. I mean, like at work during my day job, I have tons of branches, and every now and then I'll go through and I'll like prune them all, and I'll like prune the really old ones. But yeah, I probably should do that. Okay, so there should be an attack state 3. Where do I look at I just want to look at the code. 1 commit behind, 2. No. Oh, God. Okay, I know what I need to do. Yeah. No! How do I just look at the... Oh, for the love of God. No, that's not the view I want. No, that's not the view I want. Okay, all right. This is driving. Okay. This is where they I want this button, so I'm going to have to go to that, and now I got to go to this. Okay, so now we can go over here. Okay. Yeah, you can see I was getting a little frustrated. Actually, let's go ahead. Did I do a pull request of that branch? I don't think I did. What is this one? Oh, wait. No, I did. Okay. All right, so we're not going to deal with that. So this is okay, so that's adding the health. Okay, so this is what target health. Okay, that's the other thing. Okay, so this was another weird thing. We should auto-enable, auto-delete branch after PR merge, LOL. Yeah. But then again, no. So, because this is one thing that I think Git is kind of lacking. And I would love if like Git did it or some other source control did this. But when you squash and merge, you lose all of those iterum check-ins. I mean, because you squashed, right? That's what you want to do. But I think it would be easy enough to somehow where you like think about here, right? At number 58, we squashed and merged a PR. But it would be really good to be able to it would be a great feature if you could maybe, I don't know, click on it. And then I could see a tree view, right? Where the branches would be all of the check-ins that you squashed so that you could still go through each individual check-in. Because I do think there is value in having access to each individual check-ins of a PR. And that's another reason, especially at work, that's another reason that we'll end up with tons of branches. But I would love it if Git or Mercurial, which I really liked Mercurial. When I started my day job, we were using Mercurial. I liked Mercurial better than Git. I think Git overcomplicates things a little bit, but I don't know. I really liked it. The main thing I liked about Mercurial when we used Mercurial was HGServe, which was just amazing. It was such a good command because it was so simple and it did what you needed it to do. So in case you don't know, HGServe basically stood up a source control server, right? And so what you could do if you needed to is let's say you're in a VPN, because this is just a hypothetical and by no means reflects my actual how I actually work. But let's say you have a VPN, right? And the only way you can get on the VPN is if you have all the corporate bullshit software that your company requires be installed on your computer. Usually it's a laptop, but let's say you have a nice PC that is really fast and you want to be able to work on it, but you don't want to install all the corporate bullshit. So what you could do with Mercurial is on your VPN, on your laptop that has access to the VPN, you get on the VPN, you pull your code down. And then you get off the VPN, or whatever, it depends on permissions, but you get off the VPN, and then you just do HG serve. And so now suddenly that becomes like a remote, like a Git remote. And so now on your PC, if you're assuming you're like on your local network, on your PC, you can go, I forget, it's been so long since I've used Mercurial, but let's just, you could do HG clone or whatever the command was. HG clone, then give it the IP for your corporate laptop because you've done the HG serve, so it stood up a server and is listening, and now you can just clone the code. You clone that code to your local machine, you do your programming. Now when you're ready, you commit. Now when you're ready, you check it in, you commit it, and then you push it, and you've pushed it now to your corporate laptop, and now you sign onto the VPN and push that, and now it gets pushed to your work code. So it was just a nice way to be able to do that. And I have tried and I have looked, and there is no easy way to do it with Git. There are certain, if you do this and you do this and you make sure that you turn this knob and you say a prayer and knock twice on your head, then you can do it. There's all these complications. There's no straight and easy HG serve command, which is one of the reasons I really like Mercurial. Okay, so what was I doing? I was looking at this. Enemy attack. All right, so we have to implement. We have to implement the detection of death in both the attack state and the pursue state, which makes sense, right? Because if you're in attack and you're shooting, the guy dies, you say, oh, he's dead, let me pop this state and go back to the previous state, and then the previous state would be pursue, and the pursue state is well, why are you going to pursue a dead person? So, God, it is so hot now that I'm talking to you people. I don't know if the AC came on. Now that I'm talking to you people, I'm checking the AC. I'm making sure it's on. Yeah, it's on. Okay, yeah, I feel it. All right, it'll cool off in here in a minute. I swear, if this channel ever gets monetized, one of the first things I'm going to do after I make $1 million, I'm getting a freaking mini duct installed in this. I should start a GoFundMe. Yes. For the project, if you want this project to succeed, donate to my mini duct fund. Lisa says, hi, Addie. Hi, Lisa. How are you? It's good to see you here. Okay, so let's just kind of put this code in here. Easy. So this is just... Okay. Oh, okay. So that's the other difficult thing about this. So I had to really hack this. So if we go to enemy, let's go to enemy attack. Let's go to enemy. Let's do it in enemy pursue. I had a brain fart there for a second. Give me a sec. Okay. So we have to get this. We have to get this I has health interface, right? We have to get an object with this. And the thing is the only thing we have is a transform. So my first thought was, well, I guess instead of because we have the target. Where is it? Right here. This target here. But you can see it. You can see it's a transform. So my first thought was oh, okay, well, maybe it shouldn't be a transform. Maybe it should be something else. But what? We have to create something, right? Because it can't be a base NPC because it can also be a player character. The target can also be a player character. So, yeah, so we could... And then, you think, well, okay, it could be an I has health. Yeah, but no, because now the I has health doesn't have a transform. So you basically need access to the suite of transform, rotation, scale, but also custom things like I has health. So what I had done. Why is that? So this is what I had to come up with, which is not good. This is one of those things. This is one of those things where I know if I saw this in a PR, I would be we need to figure out a better way to do this. So let me copy it in and I'll show you what I had to do. This went right under the I will find you sound, which actually I moved out of there. So there feels like there's a bunch of code on my Mac that I didn't check in, but that's okay. Lisa says, just wanted to say hi, taking my kids to the mall. Are malls still a thing? Do people still go to the mall? Like, is that legitimate? Like, I feel like every mall I've ever seen, like recently, I went to my wife and I about a month ago. We went to go see Final Destination, the new one, which was really good, by the way. If you like the Final Destination movies, I think the latest Final Destination is actually one of the better ones. Like, and that's really odd considering it's the 6th film in the series, but it's actually really good. But we went to go see it, and it was in a theater that was in a mall. And the mall was dead. It was kind of sad. It was just like all of the anchor stores is what they call them, like the J.C. Penney, the Sears, the whatever else. Those were all gone. They were all gone. And it was just like, there was like there was a GameStop that was still there. There was a Hot Topic, but it was just sad. And here's the other thing. So, in case you haven't noticed, I like tattoos. I've got a lot of tattoos. I'm heavily tattooed. Not heavily. I'm moderately tattooed, I should say. Because I don't have anything on my back. Because my thing is with tattoos is like, if I get a tattoo, I want to be able to see it. So I don't have anything on my back, but my sides, my chest, my arms, my legs still have plenty of room. But anyway, so I really like the way that like solid black tattoos look. Like, you ever see these guys like they have like solid black tattoos on their arms? White guys that have solid black tattoos, and like this tattoo, like it's okay, but I kind of want to cover it up. I kind of want to cover it with like pure black. But what I wanted to start with is I wanted to get like half my hand black. I wanted to start with my palm, like the back of my hand. I wanted to get it black. And I wanted to have my ring finger black to kind of represent that, like, I'm married. So I was thinking about, okay, so I want the back of my hand just pure black with this finger black. And then these fingers, like I have these tattoos here, which I'm not too, I like these. The ones on this hand I like, but the upper ones on this hand, like I'm not too crazy about them. So I'm like, okay, so I kind of want these to be covered up, and I was like pure black. So this hand black with this finger black, and then the tips, just the bottom part or the top parts of these fingers, all black. Do you know so at the mall there was a tattoo place? Do you know how much they quoted me? So I have a lot of tattoos, which I just said. The last time I got tattooed in the United States was 2-3 years ago, and I'm pretty familiar with how much tattoos cost. And I would expect everything that I just described to be $400, maybe $500, like in like that area, that range, right? That range. They quoted me $1,600. And I'm like, and so I quickly said, okay, thank you, and walked out. And then I thought, well, is there like somebody, like maybe somebody famous works there, right? Like, I mean, is that like, maybe it was somebody who was like on one of those tattoo shows with Dave Navarro and the guy, it's Dave Navarro, Chris Nunez, and then I forget the other guy's name. But God, what is that? What is that show called? Ink Masters. It's so ridiculous what they did, because the one guy who always had the toothpick and the long hair, like I guess he had some like sexual allegations against him. So like you watch any Ink Master clip on YouTube, they edit him out. Like you'll still see him, you'll still hear him talk, but they never show his face. It's so fucking ridiculous. But anyway, so I thought, well, maybe somebody from the tattoo shop, maybe some famous person is there. Like maybe that's why they wanted to charge me $1,600. Nope. Nope. No, nobody famous. Just a random shop in the Sterling, Virginia Dulles Town Center Mall charging $1,600 for a tattoo that would probably take 3 hours at most. Unreal. So I was like, nope. You know what? I'll get it done when I'm in Bolivia. It'll probably cost me $200. I'll get it done there. And really, it's like, if you want detailed work, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to get what you pay for, right? Like, if you want like some masterful back piece that's going to like just like look like photorealistic and beautiful shading and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're going to pay 10, 15 grand. You're going to pay out the ass for it, right? But solid black, literally, it would be 6 needles. I think they have 6 needle guns. Well, they definitely have 4. So let's say 4 needles, one color. It's a 4 needle, right? Like it's really weird how they do that. So when they tattoo you, they'll say, well, sometimes they have to switch needles, right? Because like they'll use a thicker one for outline, and then they'll use a thinner one for details. But the thicker one is just 4 little ones. And then the detailed one is just 1 little one. So it's really 5 needles, but they would call it 2 needles. Anyway, so this would be, it would probably be 4 needles. Or I'm sorry, it would be 1 needle, because it would be 4 in the same package, essentially. And it would just be, I could get a tattoo gun and do it myself, I feel like. Like, literally, because I'm right-handed and I want my left hand. So I could literally, you know what? I'm curious now. Now we're going to program. I'm sorry, but you know how it is here. I will sometimes, I get a little distracted sometimes. So let's see. Wireless, not a wireless mouse. No, wireless tattoo gun, tattoo machine. How much are these? Okay, before I scroll down, what do you think what do you think they're going to cost? I'm going to say $300 for the cheaper ones. Wow, that's actually a lot cheaper than I thought. Wow, that is so cheap. Not Sure says, God, that sounds horrible. I have one tattoo and it was miserable. Well, where did you get it? Like, where is it? Because it depends on where it is, right? Like my fingers, oddly enough, they really hurt. But the reason they hurt is because there's no fat, right? It's your finger. But places like your ankle, that's why, you idiot, because there's absolutely no fat there. I don't have any tattoos on my ankles, and that's because it would be miserable. Absolutely miserable, especially because you got the bone right there. So whenever you get like places like that are near a bone, you'll feel like the vibration and like that. It's not that it hurts, but it's like it hurts. I don't know how to explain, because it's like because it's like your bone it's like your bones are vibrating. Oh my God, it's bad. It's really bad. But you get tattooed on, like, at least for me, like you get tattooed, like I get like up here, like there's muscle under the fat. So that tattoo, not too bad. Like that doesn't but up here where there's not as much fat, like this one, dude. This one, I got this one in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That was probably like I said, I have a lot of tattoos. That tattoo was probably the only time I have ever been so close to being like, you know what, we're done. Like just being like I've never done that. I have never stopped a tattoo because I was in pain. I've had plenty of tattoos that hurt. Actually, all my tattoos have hurt. I do have one tattoo that didn't hurt. This one. I forget. I had to remember which ear it was. This one right here. This one and the cartilage on my ear, and there's no fat there. But oddly, it didn't hurt. It didn't really hurt. It was loud. Maybe that's why I was so distracted by the noise. Anyway, so we've got a small crowd with us tonight. Oh, wow. Like 12 people. What is going on? Whoa. Now I'm curious about these tattoo guns. Cordless tattoo gun tattoo kit complete with pro tattoo pin. There's no way. I would not want to get tattooed by a $50 tattoo gun. Like, there's no way. Like, this is what I was thinking. This is what I was thinking they were. Mass Tattoo Pen Machine Fold Pro. So, I guess about 5-6 years ago, these wireless tattoo guns really became popular. And I like this one that I said was really painful. That is the first. He used one of the old style ones where you had this tattoo. They always call it a tattoo gun. I know that's probably like not PC these days, but you had a tattoo gun with this long wire that came out, and then they would stop and start the gun with a pedal that they used with their foot, and they were really loud. And you go into a tattoo shop or you see a tattoo shop in a movie and you hear that, you hear that loud tattoo gun noise. It's that type of gun with the wire that comes out. Now with these, there's like no noise. It's like so quiet. Back would be easy, I feel like. Yeah, I think so too. Except the spine. It's the needles that matter. The gun just goes up and down. Well, yeah. But $1,600. I was just like, no. Oh, but so I looked it up. I looked up the shop to see if there was anybody famous. Like maybe the guy won Ink Masters. Like I can understand charging those prices if you have a guy, like if the guy tattooing me was like on Ink Master and not even a winner, but like got to like, you know, as long as he wasn't eliminated in the first round. But if he was on the Ink Master and, you know, even if he was like top 10, like, okay, I could see charging $1,600. But I looked it up and there was nobody famous. I'll put it that way. I was going to say there was nobody of note. Well, there was nobody of note. There was nobody who had any kind of like fame or was like really well known in the tattoo industry, at least that I know. And mind you, I'm not in the tattoo industry, but I can use Google, and I didn't see anything. I feel like a mall ink shop must have a lot of overhead. Actually, I think it's the exact opposite. I would think they don't have a lot of overhead, right? Because I would imagine if you were in a place from the mall, things like trash is probably taken care of. Electricity, maybe water, maybe like I don't know. I feel like there would be less overhead in renting a shop from inside of a mall. I missed a message up here. Matthew said the malls over here in the UK are so busy like all of the time. Really? Why? That's bizarre. Like why? Like literally why? Like that's weird. Addie, what's on your whiteboard? What are you talking about? This is my attempt at being funny. It was my attempt at being funny. So I thought it would be funny if I wrote something up on the board and I didn't mention it, and then I would be like, oh wait, no, ignore that, guys, ignore that. So, but that was my attempt at humor. Okay, let's get back to this. So you can see that in order to, let me go back to the old view. You can see in order to get the iHas Health interface, this is so hackish. I like this scene. You mean you like this one? I'm looking at the camera. Okay. And it was like blinking. I don't understand why it was blinking. Yeah, I think it's a good scene for the whiteboard. So like if we use the whiteboard, I think that would be a good scene. But right now I will nope, wrong one. There we go. Okay. So what I had to do in order to get an iHas Health, because iHas Health is on the player. Yeah, honey?
No, just come in.
You want to come in?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, I'll move this.
You should get it.
No. I don't want you to feel like I'm blocking you out. You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get in there, good.
How many times have I told you guys that, like, oh, my wife says she's going to come up and lay down on the bed behind me, and then she never comes up? Well, tonight she's decided to join us. So I moved the whiteboard out of the way. Matthew says the big centers people will flock to, but commercial streets and towns can be dead. Guess more exciting to go to a large public spaces. That's interesting that the malls. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Gotta find this. Not sure says hello, Mrs. Addy. We're saying hello. Hi. Did you work out?
No, I have a migraine.
Oh, she's got a migraine. Did you get any medicine?
Yeah, I eat.
Okay.
Take medicine.
All right. Okay. So the eye has health. It's attached on the player. It's attached on this player stats script, which is on the player object itself. And then on the NPC, it's attached to the Sun NPC. Okay. It's a ton. Blah, blah, blah. I just remembered something. Okay. So the reason that I was having difficulty was because what happens is I got to think about this. What was happening? Oh, I just remembered this. Okay. I got this. So if you look at the Sun, if you look at the NPC for the Sun, let me pull up the prefab. Let me get the prefab, and then we're gonna go down here. And then, okay. So what was happening here was that. Whoa. The collision was colliding with this forward marker. And so the forward marker obviously does not have its own health. So I had to get the parent, and you can see that in the code over here. So what I do is I first test to see if I can get the component on the target itself, which works fine with the player, but with Green Guy it was not working. So you can see I go to the parent. So now I'm thinking maybe the thing to do is to remove the collider from the forward marker, and then make sure the capsule itself has a. The capsule itself does not have a collider. Okay, so let's move that. How is that ever working? So we have to add a capsule collider. So the capsule. So now it should work, right? Why is the height 2? Shouldn't the height be the same height as the? Nah, I don't know. Okay, let's. I think we stumbled onto something, boys. Let's see what happens. Collider on route. Yeah. So I thought there was a collider on the route, but apparently there was no collider on the route, which makes me wonder how the raycast was working. Like, was the Sun NPC only taking damage if you hit the eye? It's quite possible that was the way that's what was happening. Okay, so we have the capsule collider on the capsule. We have run this. Okay, so let me set a breakpoint here. I will say one thing I do like about Windows is all of the breakpoint shortcuts. F5 doesn't work, but F10 and F9, those have been Visual Studio debug shortcuts since at least 1999 when I started using Visual Studio. Back when it was called, what was it called before it was called Visual Studio? It was like Visual, what was it called? It wasn't Visual C, it might have been Visual C++, because you had Visual Basic, Visual C++, I think. And then around 2000, 2001 is when they kind of put everything together in one package called Visual Studio. Okay, let's see how this goes. Confirm. go to. No, there was another name. It was like InterDev or Visual InterDev or something like that. I'll look it up in a minute. Let's see. Okay, so I should hit a breakpoint soon. Apparently not. Oh, it helps when you actually start debugging. Yeah, that it actually helps. Like when you start the debugger and you attach your process, that usually helps with hitting breakpoints. That's a tip from a pro. Is just start if you want to debug. Pro tip: start your debugger. Just that's a little tip that you're not going to read on Google. Let's move on with you. I thought so. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so we're going to send. It would be interesting to count how many times we have sent Green Guy to his death, but it's what he's here for. And the irony of it is that I really would like our players. Oh, they detected him really quickly. Actually, let's make sure it's him they detected. Yeah, it is. So I think this is going to work now that I removed the collider. Okay, so this target health should be excellent. All right, so that's one thing fixed.
Freeze! You're under our...
Okay, let's see if he goes back after he dies. Sorry, Green Guy. Okay. No, I didn't put the checks in there. Okay. So that's one thing. And I want to... Really, you don't know how many... Like, the fact that the game scene does not get saved when you press play... The fact that the game scene does not get saved drives me fucking nuts. You do not understand how many times I have run something, it works, and so I check my code in, and then I switch branches, and then I realize there's a little asterisk up there on the left-hand corner. There's a little asterisk. And so that pisses me off so much. All right, so what we're going to do... All right, I do remember struggling with this a little bit. Let me see what I eventually came up with. No, I got to close my Naughty Boy browser. Let me see. So, I just went ahead and was like, all right, I guess in this case, two if statements from testing kind of the same thing. It's acceptable. Okay, if agent returned. Okay, so I just put it right under here. So immediately after, actually, immediately after making sure we have an agent, I am checking to make sure the target is alive. And then it should return. This is pursue state. Oh, okay. So let's go to attack state. And let me see. It should be very similar changes. Okay, so that was pursue, enemy attack. Yeah, it's basically going to be kind of the same thing, right? So we got this. Easy. So we can put that right underneath a line renderer. I'm getting hungry. Okay, let me see. And then we just have this now. Now that we figured out that for some reason the eye marker had a collider. Actually, I should check all of the NPCs to make sure that the eye markers do not have colliders. Okay, we can just put this down here at the bottom. And then, yeah, this one was just a matter of saying if he's not alive. Yeah. Pop this state. Okay. What was this? Oh, I don't think... What had I changed? Looks like I changed some stuff. All right, we're going to... No. It's good. It already went there. Okay. So The attack state, the first thing it will do, like one of the first tests it does after it's, I think we can put the distance calculation underneath of this, can't we? No, we do need distance. But I mean, we could have 2 if statements and then it would be a little quicker. But is that over? You know what? I'm debating, is this over optimization? Like maybe a little bit. But I think it's acceptable because calculate. Well, how expensive could calculating the vector distance be? It could be. It's Dornish square root, so it could be. I would imagine it's Dornish square root because that's how distance is typically calculated. So maybe it is worth. Maybe it is worth optimizing that away. Okay, so this should work. I think. Let's test it. You can make an editor script that prompts saving when pressing play mode. No, I don't want it to prompt saving. I just want it to save. That like Visual Studio, like every IDE I have ever used will save everything you've changed if you press play because it figures, well, the reason it does is because it has to call the compiler, which is going to look at the files on disk, and so that's why. But but again, Unity was not written by a programmer. It was written by some stupid fucking project manager. Or not written, it was designed by some stupid project manager. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, green guy, I'm sorry I'm sending you to your death. But once again, you got to go die. It's really sad. You know what? I wonder... Oh, I can't close this dialogue. Okay, that's another bug. Oh, no, whoa, no, whoa, I can't close it at all. Okay, we'll look at that in a second. I was going to say something. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Okay. No, one of the things I was noticing was that the help text on the green guy was not, it always seemed a little off. And now I'm realizing it was probably because the collider was on that forward marker. Now it feels much better. Okay, let's do this. Let's go over here. Let's go over there. Put that there. Put this here. And then we're going to go there. Wait, what? What? Okay, we're going to go over here. And then we're going to go there. Okay. Okay, so that was 222. All right. Green guy, you got to go. I'm sorry. Once again, you're going to your death.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
So why does the audio do that? Like, maybe Matthew, Mr. Smart Guy, you can answer that for me. Okay, here's the bug I was seeing. Is it locked up? It's not locked up. That's really interesting. Okay. Oh, did he not go back until he disappeared? Huh. Let's put a breakpoint here. And let's make sure that we're actually hitting that at a time that makes sense. And let's also make sure to attach the debugger. Alrighty, perfect. Okay. Let's restart this. Let's restart this. Oh dear. Okay. Unity was locking up there for a second. All right, let's try this again. Can't hear and stream, but try turning Doppler effect to 0 on the audio source or via code. So what happens is the quote is freeze, you're under arrest. But what's happening is, and it's one clip, the freeze is really loud, and then the you're under arrest gets really quiet. And I would think that the whole thing should be really quiet, maybe because he's kind of far away. I don't know. But anyway, but it's not like he moves, and so it should get quiet. Like it's noticeably much more quiet. Okay, let's see. But I'll try your change in a second. Let's figure this out first, though. I want to make sure, because okay, let's see. We're going to come over here. Okay. Okay, there he goes to his death. Is it because he's...
You under arrest.
It could be, not sure. Okay, let's see what happens. The breakpoint never hit. Oh, wait. The breakpoint has an unverified breakpoint. That's weird. Wait a minute. Why? If not target... What is going on here? This is weird. Okay, we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to do that. I would really like to know why... So... Okay, now the breakpoint is red. So when breakpoint, I don't know if you know this or not, but when breakpoints are like a hollow line or hollow circle, like they were a second ago, what that means is that there is no corresponding, for that line, there is no corresponding, basically there's no corresponding code in the compiled version that is getting ready to be run. So, okay, well now it's reloaded. Okay, this is all very weird. It's like I didn't save anything. It's like it. Okay, Unity. Okay, can Unity and my ID agree? See, look, it's hollow again. I don't trust it. And see, it hollows out. Okay, see, what about this? Does this? That does too. Okay, so this just tells me... Let's just put a breakpoint there. Well, wait a minute. See, oh, what is going on? So I missed it. What's the difference between hollow and solid? So this hollow circle that I'm seeing here, what this says unverified breakpoint. What that basically means is that there is no compiled code corresponding to the line where you've set the breakpoint. Hence, the debugger is not going to break at that point because the code that's actually being run does not have any code for that line. That usually happens if you are like if you attach to a process that doesn't correspond to the code that you're actually running. You see what I mean? So the code that you're running and the code in your IDE or in your editor, they'll get out of sync. And that's usually when you'll see these. So I'm seeing this, and what I'm seeing here is like, well, it's not going to break. And so that's why I come down here. But even that is going hollow. So let's see if it breaks. Oh my God, I did that again. I feel like there's a bug there and I'm just not. Oops. Okay, go.
Please.
So they're in attack state now and it's not breaking. It's not. cancel. This is weird. I think. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just going to quit Unity and I'm just going to restart Unity. If all else fails, reboot. If all else fails, reboot. All right. Did anybody see the discussion I posted about the name of the game? Because I'm curious if anybody has any thoughts on the name of the game. Nobody responded. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll decide unilaterally. I kind of like, so the names, the proposals that I listed for names of this game were Blackout, which I kind of like. You know, actually, the first thing that AI suggested, the first name that AI suggested was Fallout. And I'm like, yeah, there might be some issues with that name. So Blackout, Signal, Breach. I kind of like Breach. Broken Signal, I kind of like. No Passage. I kind of like No Passage because it reminds me of one of my favorite movies, No Escape. Like, but with Owen Wilson. I like to think of No Escape as the spiritual sequel to Enemy Behind Lines. Behind Enemy Lines, yeah. Behind Enemy Lines, right? Which is another Owen Wilson film. So I kind of like to think that after Behind Enemy Lines, Owen Wilson, he quit the Navy, and then he went to go work in the private industry, and then eventually got married, had 2 daughters, and then moved to Asia, and then No Escape happens. And then also with No Escape, the Pierce Brosnan character, he's like this kind of like, you know, this kind of like towards the, you know, like in the final chapter kind of his career, kind of like he's kind of like semi-retired, but he goes to Asia just kind of to like, for the ladies, but he's also like some ex-paramilitary kind of like spy, like tough guy with guns, kind of like James Bond. So I kind of like to think of the Pierce Brosnan character in No Escape as the James Bond character, the Pierce Brosnan James Bond, and now he's retired from the service, or from her Majesty's service. He's retired, and now he just kind of goes to Asia for the strippers, and then he gets in. So it's all one universe, if you ask me. Okay, let's see what happens here. All right. Not sure. It says No Escape. Maybe No Escape. No Escape video game. Let's see how many video games are named No Escape. No Escape. NES playthrough. No Escape, a video game developed from 1994. Okay, I mean it's 30 years old. Not too worried about that. An Atari 2600 game called No Escape. Interesting. But if you haven't watched No Escape, if you haven't watched that movie, watch it. I love that movie. But I really like Behind. Like I own a handful of movies on YouTube, right? Because you can purchase movies on YouTube, and I own a handful. And 2 of the movies I own are Behind Enemy Lines and No Escape. I love Behind Enemy Lines. That's another great. Behind Enemy Lines it's very formulaic, and it's very like, go America, go, yeah, America, woo, fight the bad guy. It's very formulaic and predictable, but it's a good time. I like it. It's a good movie. My wife likes that movie too. She also likes No Escape. I remember the first, like, when I showed my wife No Escape. We had been dating for just a few months. Like at that point, probably less than 6 months we had been dating. And I was a little concerned that she might be offended or something, because No Escape, even though it takes place in a fictional country, it's kind of obvious that it's like Thailand, Cambodia kind of area. And I was like, well, my wife's Thai. Is she going to think that, like, she wasn't offended? It was like, nothing offends that woman. Well, not nothing. If you start bad mouthing the Miss Universe contest, oh, she will bite your head off. Did you know that? The Miss Universe contest is actually very popular in several other countries. I'm going to restart Visual Studio, I think. Well, wait a minute. Now Unity's not responding. Huh. Okay, let's restart Visual Studio Code. But I'm going to restart both of them actually. But yeah, but the Visual Studio. But yeah, Miss Universe is actually a very like it's not very big in the United States, but in Asia and Africa, not so much in South America as far as I know, but like in several parts of the world, the Miss Universe contest is like a big deal. And I remember telling my wife that like I used to call it her Super Bowl, the Thai Super Bowl, because like so there was a roommate living with us for a while, a Thai guy, and one night, like it was this night that the Miss Universe contest was over, and they both sat in the living room, just like like just like crazying out and just like Asians do. It was, and I'm just sitting there like, okay. I mean, they were so excited, and then my wife was very excited because Miss Thailand. Although I don't know if Miss Thailand won Miss Universe or Miss World, because I think they're actually two. Miss World? Yeah, okay, so they're actually two different things. Miss Universe and Miss World are actually two different contests, in case you didn't know. Okay, so I'm going to load this up. I'm going to launch Visual Studio Code through Unity itself. Going to give it a minute. And then I am going to see. Okay, this breakpoint is red, which makes me. So okay, so I think probably what happened is the C# debug server just seems to crash all the time, like because remember, or like I don't know if it's probably the C# code server is not debug server. It's probably the code server. Okay, all right, let's see what happens here. All right, green guy. Nope. Okay. Confirm. So we have a breakpoint when he's dead.
You under arrest.
It didn't hit. So I'm actually fairly confident that the breakpoint is alive. Just that. Oh, well. No. Let's look here. If health is less than or equal to 0 on death. Oh, wait, did we get a log message saying he has died? So his health, is there something wrong with the is alive function? Let's give that a check. It's right here. Is alive, health greater than 0. If health is less than or equal to 0, that should return false. Let's put a breakpoint here. Let's put a breakpoint here and then just do this. Bool foo equals this is alive. And then debug log is dead. Okay, let's just do that. Okay, let's let that compile. Not sure it says he dead. He is dead. It's quiet without the music. And Matthew's awfully quiet too. I'm suspicious. Those Brits. Can't trust them. Okay. So, I'm sorry, green guy. I got to send you to your death once more. Maybe one day. Maybe one day you'll get to live. Okay. Here he goes.
Freeze. You under arrest.
Okay, that breakpoint did not hit, which makes me wonder if breakpoints are not hitting in general. What state are they in? They're in the... Oh. Are they going between... Ah, I think I know what the problem was. The scan was still picking him up. Ah, ha ha. That doesn't explain why the breakpoint's not hitting, which has me a little concerned. But I'm pretty sure what was happening is do scan is still returning that he's there. Okay, so that is easy enough to fix. We can just add another. Let's see. I think the do scan. So here's a question: do we think do scan should return dead objects? I tend to think it should. I do think it should. I stand by that. I stand by that decision. Okay, but let's see. Target, what is target? Target, do scan returns colliders. So we need to do another thing where we get the, oof, that is expensive though. Yeah, because so that's exactly what's happening is we're going into the pursue state. The pursue state is going back to the idle. It's just going back and forth. Debug attached since reboot. Bottom bar blue, not orange. Well, before it was orange, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was orange a second ago. Maybe it wasn't. I might not have run. Okay. So I have to make a decision here because my concern is do scan is going to get colliders, and then the colliders have to do a get component. So I think so that's why I don't think the do scan should do it, because the do scan is scanning. The do scan shouldn't do it. It just shouldn't. Because we should only do that get component call when we know we absolutely have to. So I think what we can do, if target not equal null, I mean, we can do it in here. I'm not confident how it doesn't give me warm and fuzzies here, but we'll do it anyway. Var target health. Yeah. Okay. If target health not equal null and target health is alive, then we just go, then we do all of this. Okay. This is not giving me warm and fuzzies. It's really, really not. In terms of performance, it's really, really not, but it should fix the bug. This right here, yeah. But I really don't know how expensive Git component is. I would imagine that it's kind of expensive though. But but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Matthew, do you know like how is the performance of Git component? Okay, this should work though. We should at least we figured it out. So let's see. Okay, come over here. We go over there, and then we go here, and then we go there, and now we go there. Okay.
Please, you're under arrest.
Okay, so that fixed it, right? Like they and that's actually really beautiful. That I like that worked really well. Matthew says yes, Git components should be used sparingly, ideally in start, awake, and able functions to cache something. Yeah, that's the issue. I guess we could. Matthew says, nice, it works. Yeah, I love it. I mean, that was beautiful. Just kind of like seeing them, like they kill them and then they go back to their site. Like, that's just awesome. We should do it now. What we should do it with, make sure it works with the patrol as well while we're here and we're thinking about it. And then we'll talk about Git component in a second and possible solutions. So let's see. It's going to be a very similar. Right. It's going to be basically the same thing. If target not equal null, As a matter of fact, I'm gonna YOLO this. I'm not even gonna test it. That's how crazy I'm gonna be. I'm not even gonna oh fine, we'll test it. How many times, like in your day job, have you done something? You're like, it's going to work. I'm not going to test it, and then you not test it, and then of course it breaks. Okay. I also like that I did this, which I don't target transform. An enemy pursuit. Am I setting? I am setting it. Okay. So I don't think I don't really need this. I'm not going to test it. Oh, fuck. Fine. Fine. I'll test it. So the goal here is to have the guy that's doing the pursuit. We have one guy. He's all across the map, but we're okay. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay, we're gonna send him way down there. Okay. Go way down there. And now we have a guy on patrol who's should be down here at some point. And I got to make sure he doesn't see me first. Okay, let me see. Okay. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, this is probably because I haven't rebaked the mesh in a while and I was moving cubes around. That's probably what's happening there. Okay, is this guy coming? Oh shit. He's right there. Hurry up. Oh my God. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. He didn't see him. Oh, he did. And he's chasing him. He's chasing him. Oh, I don't want him to see me. You can hear the gunshots. Oh, he's down. And he goes back to patrolling. Perfect. All right. Are you happy? I tested it. Okay. Do you feel better now that I've tested it? Okay. So we removed the collider from the child prefab. We did something in Unity. I don't know what, but that's fine. What did we do here? Okay. We had to re-implement this code. And then we fixed the attack state. We fixed Petrital Pursuit. We fixed all of the okay. We fixed them all. Okay. All right. Enemy NPCs will now go back to doing what they were doing after killing green guy. All right, so we'll do that. I'm just gonna push this directly to master. Oh, Nashor says save. Thank you for doing that. I was going to get really pissed because I didn't see your message until I had already clicked commit, but luckily there's no asterisks up there. So, okay. So Matthew says that Git component should only be used in like awake and all of that. I'm wondering. So my instinct says we could have some, because do scan returns a collider. So my instinct is like, well, we could have some collider to NPC map that we build. Right? We could have like a collider map that returns the NPC object. And then that should, I would assume it would do a find in like constant time. And so what's Git component? So Git component is, so you have all the like, let's look at green guy. If we look at green guy here, where is he? Where's green guy? Where did I move him? I thought he was on. Did I move him somewhere else? Where the hell is green guy? Did I delete him? Oh, I'm playing. Okay, he got deleted. Okay, the game was playing. Jesus Christ. I was literally getting ready to have a conniption fit. Okay. I should probably hold off putting C# on my resume. Well, Git component's not a C# thing. It's a Unity thing. So let's look at this. Let's look at this Sun NPC. So he had, like, I'm looking at in the inspector on the right hand side. You see all of these components. Like we have capsule collider. Why do we have 2 capsule colliders? I don't know. I feel like that is wrong. So I'm going to disable one. But oh, it's because of the prefab. Okay, fine, whatever. But you see all these components over here on the right-hand side. So let's say you only have one of them. So, and what I mean by that is the do scan function, it's looking, when it scans, it's testing against colliders, because that's obviously how Unity does collision detection. It uses a collider object. And there's different colliders, capsule collider. I'm assume there's a cube collider or whatever, mesh collider. So the do scan function, but do scan by virtue of the physics dot I forget what the physics function is called under the hood, but that's what returns these colliders, and that's all it returns, because that's the only thing that can actually intersect with something is a collider. So how do you get the thing it's attached to? Or, well, actually, that's a bad example. Let's say you have the Sun NPC object, right? You have that in a variable, and you want to get the collider object variable or object. You want to get the capsule variable. You want to get the Sun NPC script object. You use Git component. It's basically searching through all the components of the object for the component type that you have passed it. So what we're doing essentially is we're getting the collider. Like I said, do scan returns the collider, and then we're calling Git component to do this iHasHealth, to basically get this iHasHealth interface. And that's actually going to be even more expensive because iHasHealth, the Sun NPC doesn't actually have an iHasHealth component. What it has is it has this Sun NPC script here. And that script itself, and actually no, it gets even worse because that script actually is, I was going to say that script is implementing the iHasHealth interface, but no, it's not. This Sun NPC script derives from friendly NPC, which derives from base NPC, and base NPC is what has the iHasHealth interface. So I would imagine that Git component, it's obviously using reflection, which is already expensive. Reflection typically is expensive. And I would imagine it's probably doing some type of traversal. There's no, at least I don't think there is. I guess there are. I was going to say there's no way to optimize the search, but I guess there are ways you could optimize the search, but I don't know that Unity is optimizing the search. I would assume that Unity is probably just doing traversals. It's just like, okay, let me look at all the classes here. Okay. And then for each class, now I got to go into its subclasses and search there. And then I got to go into its subclass. So it's basically doing this like recursive search. How optimized it is, I don't know. But from what Matthew says, that like Git component should be used sparingly, and we're basically using it in the update method, that gives me pause. So, well, the enemy NPCs are a little smart in this sense, or the scan is a little smart in the sense that I am only doing the scan every second or half second, something like that. Let me look. Oh wait, no. Oh my God. No. Oh, okay. So here in the patrol state, I am doing it. You can see here, I have this scan interval. Oh, no. I am doing it. Okay. So there's scan interval here as well. So yeah, so I am doing the do scan like every. Okay, I'm doing it 4 times a second, right? And so update in theory gets called what 30 times a second. What is the FPS? Are we? Did you change it? Matthew changed it to 30 or 60. I can't remember. But so updates getting called like either 30 or 60 times a second. And we're just doing the do scan 4 times a second. So maybe that's okay. I don't know. We're polling instead of using a trigger. Yeah, kind of. But this isn't really a poll and trigger situation. Yeah, traversal, unless you make it a public variable and literally drag and drop it there, but that's not always an option, of course. Right, and it's not an option here because we're dealing with states which aren't mono behaviors. So that's why I was thinking we could have something. Well, let's not let's not prematurely optimize just yet. So we do have a couple of options before we make code changes, right? Like this scan interval, we can reduce that to, like here, actually on patrol, I'm doing it twice. I'm doing it every half second. So maybe if we're just doing it twice a second. So out of 6, what's the FPS? First of all, how does FPS work in Unity? Isn't it, I seem to recall it being a configuration thing, and I seem to recall you changing it. Am I misremembering? Am I making that up, or is that actually a legitimate memory? Because I feel like it was 30 and you changed it to 60, but I'm not 100% sure. Update function is basically as fast as possible, used for input. Fixed update would use the change I made for 6. Oh. So I know there's a late update, which I'm guessing I assume late update gets called after update. So there's a fixed update. Fixed update would use the change I made. So fixed update gets called. So that's kind of a forced 60 frames per second. And then update is not necessarily 60 times per second. Am I understanding that correctly? I didn't change application target frame rate, just physics tick. Okay. So I think we have possibilities if it does become a problem, right? Like we can do something, like I said, where we can build a collider map of the NPC objects. And then when do scan returns, we can look in the map, which should be pretty fast. Well, that depends on the comparison operator of a collider, which I know nothing about. But comparison operators, they can be very simple and fast, or they can be very complex and slow. So I would hope that the collider, well, I'm just curious now, what does the collider consist of? The collider has an is trigger, provides contacts and material. So it has actually a fair amount of stuff to it. A collider does. So the collider, a collider's comparison operator might actually be kind of pricey. I don't know. Unity. I have a dumb question. Is Unity open source? Unity open source? I don't think it is. Is Unity open source? No, I didn't think so. Okay, so where can I get information? Where can I get information about the performance of Unity's capsule collider? We could profile, not sure. We could, but I'm not sure we have to. To find information about the performance of Unity's Capsule Collider, you can consult the official Unity documentation. Oh, no shit, really? Unity manual. Okay, whatever. That is correct. Fixed update is whatever fixed interval you want. An update is as fast as possible, but not necessarily an even interval. Okay, I didn't know that. We could profile this. There is a Unity profile. Yeah, I know there's a Unity profiler. I haven't used it yet. Sphere Collider will always be faster collided type, which is why I used it for the do scan function. Okay. So I think we made some good progress there. We fixed that bug. I'm not going to concern myself too much with the performance of that get component just yet, since we're not doing it every frame. And I have to check this code in. Okay, so let's see. Call and change NPC scan to happen only twice a second. All right. Not sure. It says Matthew makes sense. It checks the distance between objects. Well, the collider. Yeah. No, because I was thinking about like it makes sense why sphere would be faster, because with a rectangle, because with a sphere, when you're testing distance, there's only one distance you have to test, right? So, I was going to say I could use my whiteboard, but I'm pushed out of my way, so my wife didn't feel like she was like in a different room or anything. But with a sphere, like there's only one distance you have to test, whereas with a cube, you have to consider the edges, and then the corners, and then the edges. It's not uniform. Capsule's a similar story, so it makes sense that the sphere collider would be very fast. Okay, it makes sense to me. All right, I'm going to do something that actually, let me go ahead and let me look at these open PRs. Actually, let me put some music on, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm going to put this song back on. Still freaking love this song. Mathematically, the fastest method. Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, it makes sense. Okay, pull requests. So this I am not. This is going to give me probably all kinds. I'm just going to close that. I don't need that. And then this one. So I'm going to go ahead and merge this, and then I will probably test it tomorrow. I will probably be working on my Mac tomorrow night, but I'll go ahead and merge it. I'm gonna have faith in Matthew. I'm gonna have faith in him. All right, so we did that. All right, let's look at that UI error really quick. Let's see if we can do something about that. So what exactly was happening? And now I gotta remember where that code is. So I think it was basically when I was telling Green Guy to go somewhere. I want to see this other error too. Let me see. Okay, so I tell him to go over there. Okay, I can escape that. I can't escape this. What about cancel? Cancel doesn't even work. Okay. Confirm. Oh, and then once you're in that state, you're kind of screwed. Okay, so I got to remember. I don't even remember where that code is. Jesus. I think it would be interactions. Would it be interactions or? I do remember this code being a mess. Let me see. No, that's the code to see if we should even show the menu. But let's see. Okay, let's see. Press E, interact. Yeah, current focus is just interactable. Interactable. Well, wait a minute. What's everything that implements this? Okay, there it is. Oh, did I put it in? Yeah, I put it in friendly NPC. Ooh, did I do that? Really? Okay, so here's do interaction. This is copy from item interaction. It should be refactored to a common base class. Yes, it probably should be. Okay. So then, no. This is follow go to. Okay, here it is. All right, so confirm. Okay, I see now. Well, wait, cancel should work. Why does the cancel button not work? Confirm works, but cancel does not. Let's set a breakpoint and see if we can get to the breakpoint. What is going on? Okay. No. What like I attach. Oh my God, what is happening? Have I mentioned how much I hate Unity? Like, have I? I think maybe we should just start learning Unreal. I'm half joking, by the way. And if I'm half joking, you know that means I'm half serious. Like, but then again, it takes like a half hour just to let's try. Let's while we're here. I think I've successfully had the Unreal IDE load once. All right, it's loading over here. Wait, I don't want to sign into anything. I just wait, is this the right thing? I don't think this is the right thing. Epic. Oh, that's the Epic Games Launcher. Yeah. It's not the right thing. Oh, I think I uninstalled it. All right. Okay. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Raz is in the house. That's what's happening. The Raz man. The Singleton Master. The Razinator. The Razlicious Raz man. He's too popular for us now. He's just too popular. He just decides like, no, we're not his friends anymore. It's fine. It's fine. Not sure says, Addy, did you see the Witcher trailer? I have not seen the Witcher trailer. I know nothing about Witcher. I think it has something to do with witches, but I just know that Henry Cavill, I think that's his name, Henry Cavill. I just know that he was very into The Witcher. I know that he's like extremely good looking. I'm a straight man, but he's an extremely good looking man, and he played Superman. And I'm gonna use another browser. And then so it was a series of novels, and then there was a TV show, and then Harry Cavill left The Witcher because it wasn't staying real to the source material. And something like that, I think. I'm honestly, but I literally, I don't know if it's like a Game of Thrones setting. I don't know if it's a post-apocalyptic set. Like, I literally know nothing about the story. Like, I don't know anything. I feel like it's some type of like Bridgerton. Is that show, like that British show? Matthew would know, but I feel like it's something like I literally don't know. Okay. All right. So we have attached. Oh my God. What is going on with Unity? And of course now what the hell is it? What happened?
Freeze.
Well, wait. Wait. Who's shooting me? Oh, Jesus Christ. God damn it. No. Ugh. And now if he... he's going to start attacking green guy. Dude, follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Come on. Come on. No, no. Oh, shit. He doesn't go fast enough. Oh, come. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, come. No. Green guy, come here. No, no, no. Oh, oh, Jesus. Now he's attacking me. Leave me alone. Okay. He went back to patrolling. Okay. No, green guy. Green guy. No. You bastards. You bastards.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
All right. All right. We got to start over. Okay. So I was literally just trying. Okay. Let's see if I do this first. Razman, where have you been, sir? Where, literally, where have you been? I mean, you were supposed to be the best man at my wedding and you weren't there. And then you were supposed to be the godfather of my child. You weren't there either. Like, where have you, a lot has happened. Like, a lot has happened since last time you came here. Like, now I have 3 children and not sure. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop. Witcher shows started off strong, but went their own direction, killed it. I respect Carvel leaving. I loved the games. What are the, now I need to know. I'm going to ask Rock. Give me an executive summary of the Witcher storyline. Wait, why are you creating a document? Just why does everything go to shit? You remember that episode of South Park where Stan is just like everything's shit. It's all shit. It's just like that. Just everything's shit. Give me an executive summary of the storyline of The Witch. Is it okay? The Witcher. Okay. The user requests an executive summary is a bit ambiguous. Okay, here's a high-level executive. Okay. In a grim, morally gray land known as the continent, humans, elves, dwarves, I'm already out. Nope. No interest. Nope. Soon as elves, dwarves, no interest. And Grok, meanwhile, is still trying. Okay. Let's see if we can get this working. Not sure says, I know nothing about this story. I don't either. I didn't either. But as soon as I saw dwarves and elves, I'm done. I have no interest. Okay, so let's see. For a while, that bug happened again. I got to figure out how to recreate that bug. Okay, let me see. If I go here, go to. Okay, we did. So the dialogue instance should go away, cursor locked, which means you can move the cursor. No, wait. I figured this out at one point, but now I've lost it. But regardless, it should still... Didn't I recreate this bug? Wasn't this a bug? Wasn't I just saying how, okay, now Unity. Okay. I swear to God, wasn't this broken? What was this not broken? OMG. Okay, well, you know what? I should be thankful that it's not broken and that it works. Okay. All right. Game done. We're going to ship it. We are going to ship it. I've also had to kind of resign myself that oh wait. Something. Oh wait, I was going to say the mouse isn't there, but the mouse is over on the other screen. I've resigned myself also that I think one of the things I'm going to have to do, if I stick with this game, which I really want to do, and honestly, this stream helps me because I have a tendency to just abandon things. Like I'll start a project and I'll have like a technical milestone in my head because there's like something I want to do that I find intriguing, that I find interesting. And then I'll accomplish that goal and then I'll move on to something else, right? I'll move on to an entirely different project. But this stream is actually really helping me stay focused on this game and actually helping me to continue working on the game. And of course, you guys helping out helps me stay focused too. Oh no, this guy's back. No, get away. Are you chasing me? I need a knife. There's a knife over here. Give me the knife. Give me the knife. Okay. Okay, those guys haven't seen me. Okay. No, I can cheat. I can cheat. God damn it. God damn it. No. Oh, come on. Oh. No. Okay, I'm cheating. Die. Oh, God. Okay, I killed him. Thank God. That was tough. That's where the balancing issues in the game come. What was I? I was talking about something. I don't know what I was talking about. Okay. No. Okay. So what I was saying was, I think I've resigned myself that as we get further along in the game, I am open to the idea of hiring an artist. And I guess because I've been listening to like YouTube videos or watching YouTube videos about people who have released Unity games and what they've done, and there's a very real thing apparently of like artists who are experienced in Unity, like their experience about using Unity's tools, not necessarily doing any programming in Unity, but just kind of doing the artistic part of a Unity game. I am very open to doing that. So anyway, I like that. That's because I want to do it myself, right? Like I want to design the city and the little island we're on. I want to do all of that myself. But the thing that's really driving me nuts is being able to do roads. Like why is it so difficult I understand why it's so difficult, but like I really want to be able to build a road system. And it doesn't even have to have like cars or anything. I just want to be able to draw a map. But no, I have to lay these out one by one. I can't even have curves. We did have that one tool, but remember that one tool was kind of broken. And then I don't know why it didn't work. Let's see. The romance between Geralt and Yennefer is steamy and romantic. I'm guessing those are Witcher characters, but I swear, like, as soon as you start talking about elves and dwarves, is there magic? Let me see. Because that's even worse. Is there magic in The Witcher? I spelled it wrong, but whatever. Let's see. My favorite dev quote: "We do this not because it's easy, but because we thought it would be easy." That's pretty true. All right, let me see. Yes, magic is central. See, that's no, no. Because the thing is with magic in stories is it's like if you need something done, well, wait. How are you able to do that? Oh, magic. Like it's like magic to me is like a tool for lazy writers. I do not like magic in stories. And like I was not familiar with the Game of Thrones stories for a long time. And I assumed, well, there's dragons, there must be magic in it. And so when somebody told me, I was like, no, there's mystique in Game of Thrones, right? Like mystery, but there's no magic in Game of Thrones. So I was like, okay, well, let me give it a shot. And like, I enjoyed the shows because but had there been magic in it, I would have never watched it. And that's another reason, like, I've never played like World of Warcraft. It's because it's magic. When Star Wars Galaxies came out, I loved that game. Why? Because there was no magic. Okay, yes, you had the Force, which is basically magic, but in Star Wars Galaxies, the Force was very like it wasn't a central part of the game. It was actually very difficult to even get to a point of being a Jedi in order to use the Force. So I do not like stories with magic. Like I said, it feels like a lazy writer's cheat code, kind of. I do not like it. Yasmarini Mrs. Razman says, why the character doesn't have a name? Can you call him Juanito? What character? The green guy? I actually do kind of like that name because I like the names I have for the like. There's a whole story for the game, and they actually do have the characters do have names, but I don't like any of the names. I'm probably going to change them. I do kind of like Juanito as a name, like for the little green guy, little Juanito. Let me load. I want to see something really quick. I can't remember this offhand. Let's check this out. Yeah, we could add a little thing above him because, well, I was going to say we could add a little thing where it says NPC idle state. We could add a little thing above it that actually had their name. But I got to remember, like these bars here and like this data, that's not going to be in the final product, right? That's going to be this is basically debug code because when we saw the guy. And it's already proved to be pretty invaluable because like that bug we fixed about a half hour ago, I saw it because you could see his state just going back and forth, like flipping, which would have been a pain in the ass without these little data points showing up on the screen. Oh, he is cute though. He constantly follows me. He's just like, what do you want me to do? I need to work on animations, Not Sure says. Yeah, please do. Please do. I don't know if Razman has seen this. He hasn't seen the game in a while because, you know, he's too cool for us, but check this out. Like, you know, like you got this guy and I can tell him to go over to that point that I just created. And now they're going to kill him. They're going to kill little Juanito.
Please, you're under arrest.
Poor Juanito. And there he goes. Oh, there's a little subtlety. So when he goes from pursuit to idle, I think he screams, "I'll find you," or something. I'll find you. That should only play if he's dead. And actually, I think I moved them because I was originally playing them in the idle state, but I think I moved "I will find you" to pursue. Maybe they're both in pursue. Let me look. So warning sound. Okay, so yes. So when we enter the pursue state, that's when we scream, "Freeze! You're under arrest." And then I'll find you. Oh, target is dead. And then, okay, so that's a stupid bug right there. All right. Is that the only place "I will find you" gets called or played? No. Detection. Yes. Okay. So it's another little thing we can check in really quick. Removed an errant call to I will find you. Okay, and then we'll push that. Let's see. Razman, if is not on a single command, I don't want to know nothing of it. Dude, everything is a singleton in this game. Everything. Actually looks amazing. Thank you. Yeah, no, we've been working on it. Like we've all been working on it. So, you know, yeah. Okay. So we have about 10 minutes left. What did I was going to watch something. I think I was planning to watch the trailer to The Witcher. That's unreal. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it. I've gotten so sick of politics lately. Like, and then especially now with everything happening in LA, I'm just like, I've just, you can see on my screen here what I've been watching a lot of. And, you know, Asmongold, who I love, Tim Pool, who I've kind of been getting a little sick of because like I liked him for a while and then he's too douchey. He's just douchey. I still do listen to Decoy Voice. If you haven't checked out Decoy Voice, I love his videos. But I've been trying to get away from that. I've been trying to just like, I've been watching videos about Unity because like it's just stressing me too much. Like now with LA being on fire and everything, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then I have a cousin today. I was today or yesterday. So we were talking, you know how the other day we were talking about Bolivian politics, because now all of you are experts on Bolivian politics, except for Razman, because he was not here that night when I gave everybody a lesson on Bolivian politics. They were telling me, so remember Evo Morales, the guy I said who was the president, and then he basically kept running and rerunning and then running again, and then he was kind of kicked out. So apparently now he's been calling on his supporters to block the roads into La Paz. So I was talking to one of my cousins who he messaged me and he was like, because he knows I'm coming down to La Paz, and he's like, primo, cosas aquí están muy malo, like things are really bad. And he was saying basically how Evo, the president guy, he was calling on his supporters to like block the roads into La Paz, and he was calling on his supporters to take the airport in La Paz. And like that's how I get to La Paz, is on the airport. And so he's like things are bad, like there's no food in La Paz, and because they're blocking all the roads. And so he's just like you might want to. He's basically telling me you might want to reconsider coming down here. And then so I messaged my other cousin, and he's like, "Oh no, Umberto's just being dramatic. Prices are a little expensive. They're like things are a little pricey, but because there's more." There's some trouble getting stuff into the city, but the military is making sure things are getting here. And he's like, yeah, things aren't that bad. So I'm like, who do I believe? So I'm just going to go myself and I'm just going. I'm going to go. The environment tech is really cool. What environment tech? I'm lost about that message. Are you talking about my game or are you talking about The Witcher? YouTube title, first video, nothing happened. Where have I heard that before? Nothing happened. Like, I will go to my grave saying that with my sister and her, like, not my sister, my girlfriend's sister, Witcher 4 environment. That's what I wanted to watch. Witcher, is it Witcher 4 trailer? Unreal has nanites. Okay, let's look at this. Unofficial. Okay, let's watch this. Is this... Oh, The Witcher 4 Unreal Engine tech demo. Let's take a look. Nothing happened.
Is he? The ploughing plonker. Break me pearlies on this blasted pit-ridden tract.
I mean, so far, I'm not... Obviously, this looks amazing, but so far, this doesn't look like any amazing I haven't seen so far, but let's keep watching. Oh my God, wait, this is 14 minutes long. All right, we're not going to watch the whole thing. Okay, I'm waiting to be amazed. I mean, that looks really good.
development.
We return to town.
These two characters need to feel like one. Since you're gonna explore the world on horseback, riding needs to feel seamless, natural, and just fun.
Yeah, and to support that, we're introducing multi-character motion matching in Unreal. So Siri and Kelpie
I mean, that
are
does look
perfectly
good.
synchronized when mounting from any angle and speed. Foliage is needed to achieve their vision.
Oh, that
without
looks
compromise.
amazing.
And no compromise means how ambitious we are when it comes to bringing our vision to life with incredible visuals. But more than that, together with Epic, we created faster way to load the world. We can now bring in more content more quickly for the smoothest possible experience.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait until my dream game. And I've told you my dream game. It's not Unreal Tournament. It's Unreal Tournament was an awesome game. No, my dream game is Grand Theft Auto hooked up to Google Earth with like Flight Simulator, right? Like that, like all that combined, so that I can like fly to any part of the world and shoot people and yeah, just do that. And in my dream game, you have to be able to go into every building anywhere in the world. You have to be able to like none of this stuff where like, you know, the doors are solid and you can't walk in. No, none of that. You have to be able to go into every building and interact with nearly everything. I can forgive some, you know, some things that you can't interact with, but you got to be able to turn lights on. You got to be able to flood a bed, like flood a room. You got to be able to like use a flamethrower and set things on fire. Like that's my dream game. I'm not sure we can make that happen, Addy. You just have to hire me as a dev. Consider yourself hired. Welcome. We need a name for our company. Singleton Inc. There we go. That's the name of our company. Welcome to Singleton Inc., Matthew. Or wait, no, not sure. Sorry, Matthew has a job. Welcome to Singleton Inc., not sure. You've been hired at the rate of, we'll say, an annual salary of $100 per year. So let me know. I'll send you the offer letter and let me know. Let's see why
Unreal's newest update, Unreal Engine 5.6, just released, and it is a huge deal. The main reason is the new MetaHuman creator.
I've already seen videos on this, and that does look amazing. That looks absolutely insane.
That gives creators the ability to create and animate realistic humans. It is a collection of tools and standards that makes the human.
I declare myself the CEO of Singleton Inc. Well, Not Sure is already the CTO of actually. Wait, that's a good point. Not Sure, you've had a job. You've been CTO. You are CTO of Singleton Inc. So you know what? Not Sure. You've been promoted. You're COO. You're the Chief Operating Officer of Singleton Inc. And I'm hiring Razman. I'm hiring Razman as the CTO. Matthew, he's still an intern. He's got to work his way up. He's got to prove his worth to the company. But yeah, all of you are fired. All of you are fired for me to get a bonus, and then I will rehire you back. Hire us back as contractors. Yeah, no, hire you back as contractors because then you don't have to pay for benefits or anything. Man, we should have written this. We should have started our game in Unreal.
33 and the Oblivion remaster are using MetaHuman.
But I literally could not get the IDE to load.
Humans. The easiest way to create a MetaHuman was through the online MetaHuman curriculum.
So Singleton Inc. I mean, I think it's a great name. Singleton Inc. I'm the CEO and owner, of course. COO, day-to-day operations will be handled by Not Sure. The technical aspect of everything that's handled by Razman. And if you want coffee, talk to Matthew. So that's how it works. All right, boys. Well, it is about that time. I am going to wrap it up here. Thank you for joining me as always. Razman, you need to stop by more often. I don't like this, just popping in and out of our lives. Like, 1 month you're here, 1 month you're gone. I don't like that. We need consistency. We need consistency. So anyway, thanks for joining. Yep, I'll be back on Wednesday at same time, 7:00. I'm a little torn. because I'm leaving for a big trip. I'm leaving for a big trip next week, next Thursday, and and I was just talking about consistency, and I'm going to be very inconsistent with streaming for like 2 months. So I don't know. We'll figure it out, but maybe we can have some consistency in the maybe I will be consistently inconsistent, which is consistency. So, all right, guys. Be sure to check out my travel channel at Addy Goes Places, and be sure to click and subscribe to this channel if you're not. And actually, I should check the. Nobody has said anything on the mobile stream, and nobody on Twitch or Kick. That's all right though, because I've got you friends here in the main channel. So take care, and I will see you on Wednesday. All right, guys. Bye. I said bye. Bye.